I guess you can call this a follow-up to my previous video that was talking about the Leaving Neverland HBO documentary, which was pretty one-sided and talked about Michael Jackson on whether or not he molested these kids, more specifically Wade Robson and James Safechuck. Those two especially, they gave interviews, and it was everyone that was on that side of the story. It would make you think. If you just watched that documentary and nothing else, if you did no research, you would think, wow, Michael Jackson is a piece of crap. He's a scumbag human being, and he definitely did it. But upon my own investigation, I noticed some inconsistencies. I noticed some of the details and facts that were left off of that documentary. I watched another documentary, Neverland Firsthand. This is a 30-minute documentary that is on YouTube. It was posted on YouTube, so anybody can watch it for free. You can watch it right now if you want. It's made by this guy, Liam McEwen, who he looks at the other side. I definitely feel like he was looking at the allegations made by that HBO documentary. He was looking at what was said about Michael, and he basically challenged it. And he talked to other people who might have an insight. He talked to other people who might have an opinion or might be able to challenge some of those allegations. For example, at the very beginning, he mentions the 1993 lawsuit from Jordan Chandler and his family and how all of that went down. He provided audio recording of Chandler's father saying that, yeah, I'm going to do this, and if I do it, I'm going to make a lot of money, and I'm going to take down Michael Jackson. Now, it's not proof 100% that this is all what it was about. This wasn't mentioned previously. Now, if Michael is guilty, then sure, fine, that makes sense. It's the way how the father was talking. He didn't sound like a man grieving over something happening to his son. And the $20 million settlement, that's another issue that even I was wondering, why would Michael give this guy over $20 million if he's innocent? Why would all this happen? Well, they at least questioned someone who said that it was the insurance company that paid them off. They wanted to get rid of this case. They wanted it to be gone and behind him. I don't know how to feel about that. It could be BS. Did Michael really not know that his insurance company was going to pay a big lump of sum like this? It is a lot of money. It is something that he probably should be aware of. I could buy, though, that Michael just went along with whatever his lawyers or whatever the insurance company was telling him. Hey, you should just pay this out. You should just make this go away. I have my doubts. That HBO documentary did give me doubts and raise questions. And then they mentioned that the police had a search warrant and they searched the Neverland Ranch and they found nothing. At least nothing incriminating, nothing that flat out makes it look like Michael was abusing children or that he was into this stuff. They found nothing. That's huge. That's a big fact that should have been talked about. He does interview various people, like I said, some people on the phone, people who have worked with Michael in the studio, like this one guy who just talked about Brad Sumberg. He talked about how the studio operated, how there wasn't a lot of people in the studio, how Michael didn't have kids there all the time, which was implied. So that was good to hear. It was. There was a private investigator who was a part of the case back in 2005, Scott Ross. He mentioned that James Safechuck, there was no reason for him to be a part of that trial, to be a character witness, to testify like he said that he was asked to do way back when. Safechuck was the one that I was inclined to believe the most, that came off as more believable. It was really Wade Robson who I was questioning and didn't know whether or not I believed. And they talked to Brandy Jackson, and this is what I wanted. I wanted to hear her side of it. I didn't know until after the fact that Wade dated Brandy Jackson, Michael Jackson's niece, for 9 years. Now, they were, I think, 9 years old when they met and when they supposedly started dating. So that's pretty young. I would argue that the first half of their relationship was innocent and platonic and wasn't a real, what you would describe as a traditional relationship. They just met as kids and then spent a lot of time together. But by the time they get into 15, 16 years old, and apparently they were together up until maybe 18, that does seem more like a real relationship. Hearing her say that none of this is true, hearing her contradict almost everything that Wade was talking about, how he was cheating on her with numerous people, including Britney Spears, which I didn't know about, and I thought that was fascinating, and how many times that Wade was trying to work with Michael on various concerts and shows, but he got denied or he missed out on it. They showed an interview of him saying that he was going to work with Michael in a Circus Delay show, but then you find out that he never did get the job. He just was assuming he was going to get it. He didn't get the job. Somebody else did, and he was upset. And because of being upset, that's when all of these lawsuits started to rise up. Very, very shady. It makes Wade Robson especially look shady and look unbelievable. It makes me think that a lot of what he's saying is false. They talked to Taj Jackson, Michael Jackson's nephew, and he provided a bunch of notes and letters from Michael that sort of was going against those notes from Safe Chuck and Robson that made Michael look like he was writing letters to kids and being creepy about it. But apparently he did that for everyone, including his nephew. He wrote the same type of words, the same type of names and nicknames. So this provided a lot of clarity for me. Again, it's still not 100% definitive. It still doesn't make me go, all right, well, that's it. I definitely don't believe the allegations anymore. I definitely don't believe anything. But it makes me more aware. It makes me understand the other side a lot better. I'm so glad that this documentary was made. I'm so glad that it came out. I hope that more people watch it just so that you can make up your own mind. I'm not saying that this will sway you either way. It will just make you more aware. And that's what's important, to be more aware of this case. Sadly, we'll never know, right? Unless Wade Robson and James Safechuck have a guilty conscience. Because if they are lying, and I'm leaning more and more towards they might be lying, especially Wade, then they're scumbags. They're horrible human beings. You almost don't think that they'll ever admit to lying now. They had to jump so far into it. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you too have seen this Neverland firsthand documentary on YouTube. What do you think of it? Does it make you think twice? Or are you still in the camp that Michael probably did this? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.